Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. Hey everybody, it's POD7. Uh, just felt like singing, I guess. Uh, Listening to some good old Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, all the old crooners. Um, that's probably the last time for a long time that you'll hear me sing. Uh, Unless something reminds me in another game, in another life. So, um, yeah, we are playing some more FTL. I'm also doing other stuff on my computer, maximizing my time. I've never really been very good at multitasking unless it's within the same task. Uh, like a lot of uh, older generations, like people 40 years old and older, uh, the typical response to today's video games are, how can you play with so many buttons on the controller? Um, and when you think about it, it is pretty crazy, all the different combinations you put in sometimes when you're playing a game, especially a fighting game or something like that. And all the different stuff you have to coordinate at the same time. And I mean, you watch something like professional StarCraft players from Korea, and they're doing like 250 actions per second or something like that, actions per minute, I mean. And it's just incredible what all we can do. But at the same time, you're just focused on that one thing. Um, and then there's people out there in the business world, that can talk on the phone, type on a computer, and move stuff around on their desk all at the same time. And there's no way I could ever do that. I would think I was talking, but then I'd probably hear someone on the phone going, "You still there?" Did the call drop? And I would be thinking in my head instead of actually talking. So it's also entirely possible that I completely trash this recording and start again. Thankfully, these are shorter. These videos are usually pretty short. Um, the FTL videos, I should say. So, um, and there's a bit of multitasking to this game as well when you're playing, um, depending on how difficult the ship you're playing with is. Like, if you play the stealth cruiser on normal difficulty, uh, I've tried like 6 more times since I've recorded that last run with it. Or did I even record a run? I don't know, it's been so long. But since I unlocked it, I've played it 6 or 7 times, and it's impossible. I mean, I know people have done it, but for me, it's pretty much impossible. Because there's just so much you have to keep track of. You have to have your cloaking management down, and timing of waiting for the enemy's bullets and missiles and stuff to show up, and then you cloak, and then yeah, it's just insane. And this is like baby's first space sim, so I played Eve Online for like a week because I had a free trial, and I was so overwhelmed by all the stuff you can do in that game, and all the just the complete heartbreak of, oh, I'm just a little rookie ship. I'm gonna go on my first mission, and then you like find a huge war that's already going on, and you just get hit by a stray weapon and die. That's always fun. There's a new game on Steam called Gratuitous Space Battles. It seemed kind of cool. It's kind of like, from what I understand from watching the trailer video on Steam, you design your fleet, different ships and stuff, and the more you play, the more you unlock, and etc. etc. I should say. Um, that's one of those words that if you ask someone to spell it, they're probably going to get it wrong because nobody knows how to say it anymore in America, anyway. I should say. Um, but yeah, you design your ships and everything, and then you it'll you pick what kind of battle you want to do. There's multiplayer, and then there's a campaign and stuff, and you can design your own battles, I guess. And you there's like two different sides of the map, and you line up your ships in the formation you want on your side, and then you just hit play, and the battle just ensues, or the battle just goes, whatever. And ensues doesn't sound like a word right now to me, but I think it is. um, yeah, it's like the ships actually just play by themselves. You don't actually control any guns, I think. That's what it looked like to me anyway in the trailer. Maybe you have one ship to control and all the rest are like side ships that do pre-programmed stuff. But it looked like it was pretty complex. It showed the screen where you equip your ship with different guns and engines and all that stuff. So you might give it a shot. It was on sale this past weekend, the weekend of February 24th, 23rd, and 24th. I just caught it with like 2 hours left in the sale, so it's probably over by now. But um, it didn't seem like it was that expensive anyway. It just had a lot of DLC, which if you buy a complete pack, that can be pretty expensive. Like around Christmas time, there was a Star Wars complete game bundle, which was every Star Wars game on Steam, and they wanted like $100 for it, and it was kind of tempting. But for every Knights of the Old Republic or Star Wars Battlefront 2, there's stuff like Rogue Commander and all that kind of weird stuff that nobody ever really played unless they're super diehards. Um, like I would pay $100 for Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefront 2, Rogue Squadron, Force Unleashed, and a lightsaber. I don't know. I'm frugal, frugal and poor. So, um, and I'm not even really that big of a Star Wars fan, to be honest. I mean, you would think so with some of the games I have, but I don't own the movies at all. Like, I have the first two Lego Star Wars games. I have Rogue Squadron on N64. I used to have Battlefront, the first one, I think. And I've got Knights of the Old Republic on Steam. So, I think Lego Star Wars is probably one of the most influential games of the last generation. I might get a lot of crap for that, but uh, there was definitely a resurgence in, hey, it's a kids game, it might actually be fun when it came out. So, and it seemed like it kind of came out word of mouth too at the same time. Like, I got it just because it looked cool, and then I don't. This might just be my personal experience, but then Then I played it multiplayer with a friend at high school, and then he got it, and then it kind of spread like wildfire from there. And then all of a sudden, Lego Star Wars was really cool, and Lego Star Wars 2 came out, and that sold like hotcakes because it was the original trilogy. And then I think it was Complete Saga that came out on Xbox, and then and Indiana Jones that came out. I think that was a tie-in. If you got an Xbox 360, it was one of those games that came for free in a bundle, and so that sold like hotcakes. Even though it's probably my least favorite Lego franchise game, and then Lego Batman just blew everything out of the water. So I really want to play Lego Lord of the Rings and Batman 2. I decided I'm not going to get Pirates of the Caribbean until I actually watch the movies. um, which is, I know a lot of people get mad about that, but it kind of happened with Haunted Mansion when it came out as a movie. I swore that I would never watch a movie again based off of a theme park ride. And thinking, how often are those going to come out? Well, now it's a $1 billion franchise from Pirates of the Caribbean with what, 6 movies now, five or six movies, and I definitely missed out. I think at this point, certainly on the first two, I've heard less than good things about everything after the second one, but the music is awesome from what I've heard. One of my favorite bands, Epica, had a live album that they did with a live orchestra and choir, and one of the covers or the arrangements they did was the theme from Pirates of the Caribbean. That dun 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 kind of stuff. That's a really great album too. Check out Classical Conspiracy by Epica. It's a 2 disc album, or a double size album for anybody that doesn't know what discs are anymore. I would hope that kids these days still know that music comes out on CDs, but we're getting to that point where physical media has almost run its course as far as entertainment goes. I think software will probably come on physical media for a long time still. Even if it comes down to having to buy SD cards that you plug into your computer. But one of the things I read in Popular Mechanics, I think, a couple years ago, was a theoretical look at holographic memory. And they said that if they could get it, or if they were correct about their math and all that, that they could fit 30 terabytes of memory onto the size of a regular disk, like floppy disk. So that would be insane. Just think of what they could put on like an actual compact disk, if that's even how holographic memory works. I don't think so, but. And you always wonder, like, you see a 3DS game now and it's like the size of a stamp, and you wonder what all they could fit into a original Nintendo cartridge now. I mean, that'd be like 20 games, I would imagine. And you think of the stuff that fits on Blu-rays these days. Like, you could probably fit the entire Nintendo catalog on a DVD right now, like the original NES, I think. If not, it would probably definitely work on a Blu-ray, because a Blu-ray is I think the higher end ones are like 32 gigabytes now or something. It's insane. But we are wrapping it up here pretty soon. Definitely getting banged up. We had to run from that fight, I believe. So, um, yeah, we're winding down here. Oh man, I'm kind of nervous to listen back and see how the opening to this episode went. It sounded okay in my mind, but considering I cringe just listening to myself talk, I can't imagine what it's going to be like to listen to myself sing. Um, Probably going to hate myself and probably re-record this entire thing and lose 15 minutes of babbling. So I guess nothing of value was lost. But like I said, the first couple episodes of this run are fairly undramatic, so I think the next episode we'll probably get into why this run was put off for so long. But anyway, this has been POD7. Fingers crossed. I'm signing out.